Hello, hello, hello. Who do we have in the chat tonight? Let's have a little look. And there we go, we're here. And I'm joined by Marek as well. Let's see, Marek, can we hear you?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Let's hope the chat can hear you as well. Can we hear Marek, everybody? Good to see so many of you guys here tonight. Fantastic. Wow, so many people in both YouTube and Twitch here. Loud and clear. Perfect. I hear you loud and clear, Marek. Fantastic. So we're here with another exciting update for Space Engineers. It's one that especially the Xbox community have been waiting for a long time, and that is, of course, community crossplay with PC and Xbox players being able to play together here. And we actually got this nice GIF here as well to demonstrate that. There we go. So Marek is going to tell you guys a little bit about the update, kind of a brief overview, and give you some updates on Keen Software House, Space Engineers, and everything that's going on in Prague. So, Marek, how have you been, and how are things at Keen Software House at the moment?
So, thanks for asking, and I think very good. The last year was great for us. We got many new colleagues, and we also got a growing revenue and growing player base, which is good after 6 or 7 years of Space Engineers. So that is very good. And regarding this update, I'm also happy from the crossplay and basically also from how much we can support Xbox and how much interconnection or like integration between Steam version and Xbox version there can be. And for example, the crossplay, what is most interesting for me is that what we will learn from this, that we can use in the future. That like what will be the benefits and disadvantages of having crossplay between PC and Xbox, and again what we can learn from this. So that's nice. Also being able to do the Xbox mods is something that surprised even myself. Like I wasn't, if you would ask me a year ago, I wouldn't say, that we would probably go that path or that it would be possible. And then further support for Mod.io for PC is another great thing, I think. And new Space Engineers website is also a nice thing, having like flashy, good-looking website. So that's regarding this update. And regarding, as you asked, Keen Software House and what is new. As I said, like everything is great. We are working on, like this was some kind of technical update. Now we are working on the next major update with some new content and features. And yeah, everything is very good.
Yeah, 2020 was a fantastic year indeed. And definitely we have some really, really exciting things coming this year, and we can't wait to share them. I should also mention that today's stream we're going to be joined by Chenda, who's in charge of the Xbox version of the game and was in charge of making this this crossplay possible. So we'll be joined by him later, and finally by Erin Kianata to do some more Q&A. So hopefully we will really get you guys your questions answered, because I'm sure there's questions about this update specifically and the integrations and what it means, and also there'll be kind of more general questions as well. So let's just see here. I think everything's looking good. So the other thing, I guess, is people might be kind of curious is how things have been maybe for Keen with the continuing worldwide pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are just continuing with, like how things have been. Most people are on home office. Some of us are coming to Orange area, but it's basically just few people. And we use respirators when we are in public spaces. So, for example, when I'm sitting in my room right now, of course I don't have a respirator, but if I would go to kitchen or some like big room, I would have a respirator, and also everybody here. So I think that's also about being responsible, because if I get infected, there is a chance I will infect other people. And I also want to like ask other people to still kind of like keep on going and be responsible, because what I just learned today, there was some survey in Czech Republic, and it seems that 50% of people don't follow the guidelines and they ignore their COVID symptoms, which sounds completely crazy to me, to be honest. So I think that we should not only complain about the government and politics and you know, say things like how they are stupid and they cannot handle the pandemic, but I think we also should do our part and just, you know, being responsible for yourself. And I think then the things wouldn't be so bad as they are, or they would not get worse, at least. So that's regarding COVID, but in general, you know, like, I think we are the lucky ones. So, you know, we don't have any troubles here.
Definitely making, kind of trying to make the best of a bad situation, I think, in that regard. I mean, so do you want to talk about, again, maybe something you've been up to recently, Marek? I know you've been on some adventure, haven't you? If you want to call it that.
Yes. I was in Italy for 4 months, and it was from September until like beginning of January. The reason was that, you know, the pandemic was starting on. I knew that we'll be on home office, everyone, so it didn't make sense if I will be in Prague, or it didn't make difference if I will be in Prague or somewhere else. And for a long time, I wanted to spend some time in Rome and get to know the city, and actually like in Italy, but specifically in Rome, because I love Roman, you know, empire, Roman civilization.
I've got some pictures up here, Marek, actually, of the trip. I got the Colosseum here.
Okay, yeah, I can see.
Yeah, I'll just flick through some of these.
Yeah, and so I will share with people, you know, some of the photos, but it's really just a small selection. So as people know, this is Colosseum, and this is a place near Colosseum, and also near Colosseum. And the main reason, Joe, you can stop scrolling for a second.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
And so the reason why I decided for this trip was that I wanted to kind of like reset my schedule and kind of get rid of the usual daily habits that were like, I wake up, you know, open email and start answering emails, and then I do it until end of the day, plus, you know, some meetings and things like that. Basically just reacting to things and not being proactive and not having focused time to just sit down and spend not 1 hour but like many days thinking about some specific topic. And I wanted to kind of like break this cycle of just being reactive, and I thought that in different place I will be able to do it. Plus I also asked my team that during that time I was you know, in sabbatical, so not like trying to limit the interaction as much as possible. And it actually worked very well. And the trick was that when I wake up, you know, I don't open email and don't, you know, like start replying and doing this reactive thing, but actually I wake up and I start working on the most important thing, which in this case was this manual badger experiment or experiments. And I got some interesting ideas, did some interesting experiments. So now we are integrating them to other teams and like what we are doing. And I also was able to validate this idea that actually when I'm just in reactive mode, I am less helpful to our team than when I'm in this proactive mode and doing the reactive things like cleaning the inbox, doing it at the end of the, you know, day after I'm done with all these other things. And actually it works quite well. So this was the reason. And since I was there, I tried to explore Italy and Rome as much as possible. And I love Rome because of the history and what that civilization was able to achieve, you know, 2000 years ago. And where, for example, like people in our country were just, you know, some simple tribes, and there in Rome, they were having big civilization. So these are the reasons why I'm so fascinated by Rome and you know, Greeks and like all these things. So we can continue, Joel, with the pictures. So again, this was near Colosseum. And
some people are speculating if this could be hinting at potential future game inspiration, Marek.
like what?
Well, you know, I think it's in the name.
Yeah. No. This is really just about me and having some, I don't know, like inspiration for everything, you know, because really, when you look on these creations that these people created architecture, you know, it's beautiful even after 2000 years, which I think says something about, you know, some of the principles. Yeah, this is me on a run, like I used to run along the river. And I'm a little bit delayed, you know, with the stream.
It's quite hard.
Yeah, this is like beautiful ceiling in one of the churches that we actually like. I think this was one of the oldest churches in Rome, and with this beautiful ceiling. And you can see how, you know, the chairs are spread out because of the pandemics. Yeah, and this is the church. No, actually, this is Pantheon. You know, people probably know Pantheon. It's also another interesting thing that the building is old, 2000 years, you know. Which is, I've
never been, but I really would like to.
Yeah. And the good thing about visiting Rome, like at this time, was that there were no tourists. So, and I didn't count myself as a tourist, you know, so there was almost no people. And when we wanted to visit museums, they were open in the beginning. So we just took respirators and, you know, we went in. So for example, even in the Vatican city or like Vatican, you know, area, Vatican Gardens and Vatican Museum, like there was nobody. Normally there is at least like 2 kilometers long line of people, you know, waiting.
The best time to go then.
And now it was like there wasn't a line, like not at all, just like walked in. And so that was good. And I think it was also safe, because if there is not that many people, plus you have the respirator, then I think it's okay. And so this was Pantheon, and these are some pictures from Orangeria that I took yesterday. You know,
I try to find the bigger ones. There were some bigger ones in here, because I think these are crop, but I think they're looking really nice in the snow for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Marek. So just to give you guys a heads up of the update, just to kind of summarize it here. So it's a free update for Space Engineers. It enables crossplay for PC and Xbox, and it uses Epic Online services for that. And PC players have the option of playing on Steam-only servers or this Epic Online service. So players have the choice whether they want to play with PC players and Xbox, just PC, just Xbox. So that is up to you, and players are able to choose that. That also means that there's mods on Xbox accept client-side scripts, but dedicated server-side scripts are supported. So it's a big deal to have mods on Xbox, and that was again another one of the, as well as crossplay, getting the mods, all of it together was really one big kind of undertaking. Mod.io is now available for PC. So you can post blueprints and worlds from PC to Mod.io, and then Xbox to Mod.io. So it enables much easier sharing of blueprints and worlds between the platforms. And finally, we have a new Space Engineers website. So please do check out the Space Engineers website. Brand new, fresh coat of paint and all that. And there are more things in the update, some smaller things which we're going to go over a little bit later in today's stream. I think the final thing, Marek, you wanted to cover was the Sounds of Space Engineers, the music competition we currently have running.
Yes. So we started it a month ago or so, and we already received 75 submissions, which is very good. And there are still some are coming like every day, so that's good. And the deadline for submissions is March 15. So you have 1 month, you know, and 4 days. And we would really like to get as many as possible, and then go through them with Karl Antonin, our composer, who we are collaborating with for the last 10 years, and select a few of the winners, and maybe get some inspiration, you know, for future of Space Engineers. like that was the goal. That's why I wanted this competition to basically being able to listen to what people think or like how people imagine music in Space Engineers. And now we have like many submissions, and I hope we will get even more, and then we'll be able to give some nice gift or something to the winners.
I actually think we have, it's around 75 entrants, but some people have submitted 1, 2, 3, even like 4 or 5 songs. So I think we have over 100 tracks to listen to already, and we're not even midway through the submission period. So I'm sure by the end we'll have even more to look through. And we're really looking forward to doing it, because it's the first time we've ever done this kind of competition. So if you've got some musical skill and a passion for Space Engineers, then definitely check out the Sounds of Space Engineers competition. I'm sure we'll get a link in the chat there as well. And of course, I should have mentioned that all the details. We'll go through it later. Actually, we'll go through the update, and then we'll go over some additional community things later on here today. So, I'm just looking here. Marek, is there anything else that you would like to tell the community today? Any teasers or anything?
Well, let's look forward to the next big update, that we will do, hopefully soon.
Definitely. It's really, really nice stuff. And I think players will be surprised with what's coming. So it's, very, very nice. That's all for now. So thank you, Marek. And thank you so much for spending the time here to come and say hello to the community. We'll now get Chenda on to go over the update in a bit more detail. And thank you once again, Marek.
Thank you, and bye-bye, everyone.
Okay, so let's see. Let's get Chenda here. All right. Chenda, can we hear you?
Oh, hello, Joe.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
So it's
So
here.
how are you?
The day is here. And we've already got this. We have 4 Xbox players and myself and another PC player here on this world that I've got set up for us. So I'll just be doing some gameplay in the background with these guys, and you can kind of maybe go over some of the technical details of this update and what players should remember and what players need to know.
Okay, cool. So, guys, have anyone mentioned that this is a free update? So
I did mention.
No strings attached, and certainly no DLC this time.
There
so
you go.
hopefully you are enjoying it already. This time we released it much sooner than the stream. Usually we release the update during the stream. So this time we released at 3 p.m. I believe, to make sure that all the servers are updated in time, both Xbox and PC servers, and everything is just ready for you. So,
And in the world here, Chenda, I thought we'd start with some nostalgia, so I kind of started us off in the classic green station, and we're going to make our way down to the planet with some players here, so that'll be the backdrop.
Okay.
So PC and Xbox players here together on Easy Start 2 / Green Station.
yeah, that's awesome. So I just want to first make sure that that everybody is on the same page regarding crossplay, because I heard that people are kind of afraid that we will have to dumb down the game to be able to play with Xbox players. So I don't think it's not the case. Essentially, it's just your choice if you want to play with Xbox players or not. We don't force anyone to use just crossplay, and of course, by default, everything is originally as before. There is by default Steam, and by default everything as on PC as it was before. And the same with Mod.io. I heard complaints that we just get rid of Steam Workshop or something like that. That's definitely not the case. Steam Workshop is awesome. It has lots of like functionality, and of course it does all your creations. So by no means we want to get rid of it. On the other hand, if you want to share your creations with your fellow engineers on other platforms, there is a mod.io which we added for you, and it's just a choice. Essentially, you can still publish just to Steam Workshop if you want to, but as on top of it, we added the ability to publish to both services, so you can like make your own choice. And the same thing goes with like just consuming content. You can subscribe on Steam or on mod.io. So that's, of course, now I was talking about mostly PC players. On Xbox, there are no choices. You have just mod.io, and you had it from the beginning, of course. And I believe like Xbox players are happy with mod.io, right?
Yeah, I think Xbox players have been using it a lot now, actually. You know, and there's been I flicked through it, and there's been some amazing things posted on there. It's definitely served Xbox players very well there, and people have gone from Steam to mod.io already, but it required some manual work. So now it'll be much easier for players to do that, I think.
Exactly. Essentially, we heard our creators who had like hard time to post to mod.io to kind of like had a wider audience, so now they can do it much easier. And I'm just looking at the amount of items on mod.io, and it's like already nearly 50,000, which is, I think, impressive. It's less than 1 year, actually, that we are out on Xbox, and it's already like huge. And I hope that with the help of PC players, having like just easy access there, it will just grow, which would be awesome, because like both communities would kind of, you know, together share all those creations of yours.
Sorry, I just lost my passengers, who I was transporting to the. I was transporting some players down. We've got we still got our players here, and they all got thrown off here. So, and guys, there's lots of there are some questions. We're going to address the mod.io in more detail when Kianata joined us later. I think he may have an update for us there. We're seeing lots of... So right now, our community manager, Kianata, will be looking at the chats, YouTube and Twitch, and pulling out the biggest issues and the biggest questions that people have. And he'll be addressing them when he comes on a little bit later here. So Chenda's going to continue kind of going over the main analysis here of the update. And we'll get to the points that you guys have raised, okay?
All right. So I will continue.
Yeah, please do.
So I would like to update a bit on, or talk a bit about the crossplay. So essentially, like nothing is forced on you, but if you will to or want to play with Xbox players, you can use a dedicated server, and essentially switch their networking to Epic Online Services, EOS, and enable console compatibility. So just I will now touch a bit about what does it mean, what's that Epic Online Services, and what does it mean to switch to console compatibility. So first of all, like Epic Online Services, it's a cross-platform networking solution that we are using. It's developed by Epic, like Unreal Engine guys, and it helps us to kind of connect communities through all the other like possible devices, not just Windows PC. So, but that alone doesn't mean that you are already playing with Xbox players. So you can just use this networking, and you will actually get even some like nice benefits of Epic Online Services, which is especially when you don't have like public IP, you can like have still be discoverable, which is not the case for the dedicated servers. And yeah, so even though you won't go with console compatibility, Epic Online services can still be kind of like useful. And of course, if you want to play with Xbox players or any other console players in the future, you can switch console compatibility on. And that actually makes rules a bit different. Over the year, when the Xbox version came out, we made sure that those limitations are as small as possible. So we reduce them to some minimal amount of items that are not supported on Xbox. Nevertheless, there are still some. And those are, of course, like Mod.io. You won't be able to start worlds which contain Steam mods. Only Mod.io mods will be loaded when you have console compatibility enabled. That just makes sense because Xbox cannot access Steam. So that's one of the things. And the others are based on the memory limitations of Xbox. So 3 planets are the maximum that we can fit into the Xbox. Similarly, asteroids are a little bit limited. I think nobody noticed. Still, there is limited set of asteroids that we are kind of using for generating procedural space. So there is a bit different procedural generator. Mm-hmm. And there are no container drops, unfortunately. This is just
something that I know players.
This feature is, this feature is quite tied to Steam integration. So no Steam, no container drops. And last but not least, there is an offensive words filter, which is enabled always. And that's just a requirement for Microsoft. Some of you may like that this feature is there. Some of you may not, but it's just a requirement to have it on consoles. On the other hand, even if you are not in console compatibility mode, you can actually enable this offensive word filter. We made it available to anyone on dedicated servers on PC. So yeah, some admins may actually prefer to have it enabled. So you can freely do it. All right, and that's essentially all from my side regarding crossplay. Crossplay, not everything.
Not everything.
There are still nice things to say. But guys, if you have any questions regarding crossplay, feel free to post them now.
Yes, please
do. Try to monitor it, but it's hard to keep track of the chat. I'm kind of bad in multitasking. When I'm talking, I cannot read.
I mean, some people are saying so Steam doesn't, so it's not multi-platform on Steam, and the whole reason is that it wasn't possible that way. So Epic Online Services is what we had to utilize to enable that. But if you don't want to use that and want to stay on Steam and play on PC, that's the optional too. But crossplay wasn't possible through Steam services.
Unfortunately, guys, we love Steam. Steam has a awesome SDK, awesome Steamworks, and we would totally stay on Steam if it would be possible. But unfortunately, Steam is just doing things for themselves, not really opening up to other platforms, and that's just shame. I'm kind of
So that was the reason that we had to go with that. But the main thing is that players, I think if server owners can continue to use Steam, if that's what they like. So I'm trying to pull out some specific questions for Chenna, because we're going to go through some of the big overriding topics and general SE Q&A in just a bit, guys. When Kianata, combine
nice.
them. Kianata joins us. So let me see here. So I think there's some technical, maybe some issues with some servers right now. Have the Steam servers changed as well?
No,
Stage Rise mentioning about the bot system that he has in his server is broken by the crossplay. But do you know anything about this?
Maybe actually, yeah. One of the requirements that we had during this update was like removing Steam IDs and Xbox user IDs from the logs. If this bot system for some reason uses those
Steam IDs,
yes,
I
directly,
imagine things would. I guess
it may actually break things. But I don't know like specifics. How is it implemented? So.
I say if there's, I think if there's on the PC side, the crossplay side, like with or the Epic Online services, hopefully with the PC side, issues can be resolved quite quickly because I think it was mostly on the Epic Online service part of the kind of update, right? There may be some changes. You said there was a requirement, so you have to see, though, I guess.
I don't know about any issues now yet. So once we will know about some issues, we can like make sure, and we will definitely make sure to address them.
Is there a way
as soon as possible?
Is there a way for players or admins to how do players identify players now, individuals, if not by the Steam ID? Because it does occur. I think lots of it would make sense that certain mods and server tools would use IDs for controlling. So,
well, they can identify them by the name, of course, and like for example, if you need to make them like promote them or something, you can do it either in game or in remote client, which is also part of the DSGUI, right? So there are like, we made sure that all the like stuff that players are doing or admins are doing are possible to do even after this change. So yeah.
Okay, so I think maybe this will be something in the coming days that we'll have to kind of see how players are reacting and also see if there are any issues and that we need to address or at least provide solutions for. I think we'll have to see how everything's going. I think with changes like this, I think it was why we released the update earlier than the stream. Of course, was because. We knew that admins would need some time to prep their servers, but with a change like this, there will be. I can imagine there will be some effects that will need to kind of be kind of looked at. I imagine it's not because obviously whenever we change multiplayer thing, it's not like a new block DLC or something like that. This is some kind of underlying technology, and the game Space Engineers has been pretty stable in that regard ever since the kind of multiplayer overhaul and of the PC version. So this is probably the biggest changes to the core code, the multiplayer, I imagine, right, for a while. So that could come with some complications.
Yeah, possibly. Like. Fortunately, we kind of like already released Xbox update with Epic Online Services during the 197 update, so it's not like completely untested feature. And before that we did I think like 3 months like testing during beta of this thing. So actually we started in sometime in October or September maybe, like testing Epic Online Services, releasing it already during the 197 to Xbox players. So kind of it's not like completely new thing, but definitely there may be issues and we will look into them as soon as we will find out.
Definitely. I mean, of course, it's like it's the whole point of all of this is trying to make the part of the ecosystem best as many people as possible, I think. And I sorry, and we take issue because obviously so much of our community is online. We take issues like that very seriously. So for sure, guys, if there is issues, we'll be responding to them and seeing what's up. I say Aaron's probably been collecting, Kianata's been collecting a list from the chat. I haven't been following, I can see in the chat there are issues. People are reporting issues of servers on PC. I don't see any Xbox specific stuff, but a lot of kind of server admins here. So we will address that shortly, guys. I'm sure Eric Kianata's probably got a better outlook on it. He's been following the chat here. So we will, yeah, I can see he's giving me a thumbs up. Great. So we will talk about it, guys. All right. So we got the crew here landed. We still got the same amount of people?
Okay.
Still 3 people. So yeah, so anything else, Chenda, you like to update the Xbox and PC community on at this point?
Yeah. So last thing I haven't touched yet are essentially mods for Xbox, which is like
mods for Xbox.
As Marek said, something we haven't even like planned at the beginning. Like we thought that it won't be just possible to do it. And actually Microsoft was very forthcoming in that, and like they weren't like really against it. So yeah, in the end it panned out, and now you have ability to use any PC mods. Like that's very important. It's actually completely compatible. Like not completely. There are some minor details. I will get to it, but visual mods should work out of the box.
Any block mods and skyboxes and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yes. There is no need to convert anything to do additional work. You will just use it as it is on Xbox, which was very important to us, and it was like bulk of the work to get it done as it is. And yeah, so here it is. Of course, like Xbox players can enjoy the mods only from Mod.io. So unless some unless our mod creators won't adapt mod.io, then of course they are not catering also to the Xbox community. So please, guys, if you kind of like want to also cater to Xbox players, do it through Mod.io. It will, I think our console community will appreciate it.
Yeah, and we also ask that people don't republish mods without permission. I know there might be there's a lot of mods that won't be on Mod.io for Xbox users, so please make sure either to contact the modder to put their mods on Xbox, or at least ask for their permission to republish them on Mod.io. But please don't do that, because you will have that mod potentially taken down. So please, don't. It's actually, that goes for anything. That goes for creations, not just mods. As always, and going from Mod.io to Steam, whatever, just first ask the creator if they will publish it on a platform, and if they're not bothered maintaining it, then ask them if they allow you to, republish it, and you can keep an eye on it. Okay, so
yeah, for sure. Just like a notice. As on a PC, even on Xbox, the mods are just experimental, so you have to have enabled experimental mode. And as on PC, they may have possibly unpredictable outcomes. So that's just how the modding goes. Of course, like usually it goes well, which is a good thing. But bear in mind that it's like all experimental feature. On Xbox especially, it's something to care about, especially about like the amount of mods that you will feed into your Xbox, because the memory on consoles is limited, so it will eventually run out. So if you will feed it with 100 mods, it will probably unload. So just please make sure your console is not crashing unnecessarily.
That's
all right.
I think people will probably learn, and if they don't take care, they'll probably learn the hard way, because their servers will start having problems. Like, Xbox players they'll start having problems. So it's probably something to keep an eye on. Yeah, I just rolled my vehicle here.
And that's the other thing, of course. Like, one thing is you can run your run mods on the console. So just visual ones, of course, but you can like use them directly in single player or in hosted multiplayer on the console, no problem.
Yeah.
And you have it kind of under control. But if you are connecting to some server, you don't know how many mods are there. And of course, like, that's then up to the admins to kind of make sure, if they want to play with Xbox players, make sure there is like limited amount of mods so it can actually fit into the memory of the consoles.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that's just to note, of course, like on the consoles, you can use just mods without scripts. On dedicated servers, you can have server-side scripts that doesn't need like client-side scripts, which is like some of the mods are like that. Some of the mods really need also the client-side scripts. For example, or the shield mods usually have even a client-side
stuff, yeah.
Script to kind of defense shields, etc., to kind of visualize the shields.
Okay. Yeah, but it will still open up a lot of potential for modders and for players on Xbox. Guys, there's lots and lots of points in the chat, and sorry, we just wanted to go over the main update, and we'll have time for Q&A in a bit. I can see there is issues with servers. I'm really sorry to hear that people are having issues with their servers and maybe game files. So we're going to be addressing that in just a second here, because I say Kianata's been collecting some of the points you guys were bringing up. But I am really sorry, guys, if you're having issues with the update. And we'll be sure, like, with the guys we're working around the clock to make sure that these issues can be fixed easily. If there are some issues here, I'm just trying to pull some stuff here. Let's see. I saw something I wanted to pull out. So you don't have to buy the game again on Epic Store. It's not Epic Store. It just uses Epic online services. So no, you don't have to. We probably should have clarified that. You don't have to buy the game. It's not like Epic Store or anything like that. It just simply uses their server technology as a backend for linking the two communities together. So it's nothing to do with the Epic Store. You don't even notice the Epic stuff, right, Gender?
Yes, unless you will connect to Epic server, you won't notice. If you connect, then you will use their servers. But of course, like, nothing is charged, everything is completely free.
Exactly, yeah. No, so if you're on Steam, you don't have to use Epic servers. You can continue to use the Steam backend. You have a choice when you go on the new server browser. You have an Epic Online service and Steam. So you don't have to use Epic Online services. The Epic Online services is required for crossplay. So if you want to play with Xbox players, then you can play with EOS compatible servers. So the choice for PC players is yours if you want to play on Epic servers or Steam servers.
Yes.
Let's see here. So, Chenda, is anything else you'd like to update? Anything else for the kind of? I mean, the versions of the games are pretty much identical now because they have to be to run. So we've kind of gone over the issues. The difference is they can't have the client-side scripts, but and there's limits on the planets and stuff. But other than that, it's the same right now.
Yes, they kind of converged. Like, essentially, Xbox catch up the PC version quite. Like there is just this small amount of things, but yeah, I think it's pretty much the same now.
Fantastic.
Actually, if I would kind of like see this like a year ago when we were preparing for release for Xbox, it would be just mind-blowing.
Well, again, when we first released Xbox, it wasn't necessarily a plan because it was going to be, it was going to be, we weren't sure if it was going to be viable, right? So to get to this point, it's awesome. Let's have a look here. Okay. Fantastic then. Well, Chenda, thank you so much for coming on today and giving us an update here on the Xbox version and for the hard work you and your team put in the Xbox port continuously. And I know we also really appreciate the players who helped test the mods because obviously it was in the beta program for Xbox. So thank you to everyone who took part in that stage and helped us get that tested. So thank you very much to that part of the community. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else, Chen, you'd like to add?
No, I think I've said everything that I had on my list. So thank you, everybody. I hope you will enjoy this update. And yeah, like, don't worry. Just let us know if there are any issues, and we will take care of them.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll definitely be looking at the support site. Any issues you have, that could be single player issues, obviously going into the multiplayer issues. So please do make your opinions known, make your issues known, and we'll be looking at that support site in the coming days to make sure the major issues are rectified as quick as possible.
Yes, exactly.
Fantastic.
Okay, so see you, Joel.
Thank you, Chenda. Thank you. There's actually some other things in this update, guys, which we haven't gone over. One of them is actually the fact that we've added the piston head as a separate block. It might seem a small thing, but actually it has been a request from players for a while here. So the top piston part, should I say, is now a separate block. You don't have to kind of hack it and delete it. You can actually place that wherever you want now. So that was also just a small update there, but very nice for those creators who like to use the piston head as, well, in more ways than the obvious. So there we go. And I'm now going to get in Kianata, and he's been following the chat. So I've been kind of going over the update here, and I can see lots and lots of stuff in the chat, and I can see you guys. Let's have a look. Yeah, and I apologize, I haven't been to address all the issues yet that you guys are bringing up in chat, but I'm going to bring in Erin because he will have a better picture of that. So let's see here. Let's have a look. And Erin, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How's it going?
Pretty good. So, I think
so. Everything's fine. I can go. You guys don't even need me today. That's good. I mean, I appreciate it. I had stuff to do, so yeah. So I do see, mixed in with some other comments, I do see a bunch of super excited people about the idea of crossplay. I know I have some friends who are super excited about crossplay, like because I'm a PC player and they would like to play with me on Xbox. We have some questions about the mod.io legal agreement.
Yeah, that's the. I've seen a lot of that in the chat, but I didn't know enough about it to bring it up right this second. So hopefully, yeah, we can address this now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Everybody get comfortable.
Okay.
So the way a release works, and this is so you could have some insight into us, so we can have some transparency with you, is the whole team is here. You can't see all of us, but we're all here. We're all going to be working all the way through the night tonight. We'll be working tomorrow, all the way through the day and late into the evening to make changes if we need to make changes. Mod.io is how Xbox players get mod support. And the Steam Workshop is how Steam players get mod support. So our goal with the changes we implemented was to make it super easy for any mod creator, any mod author to just click a button and have their mods get distributed to both platforms at the exact same time. This is advantageous for a number of reasons. Not only is it valuable to the mod authors because it makes it quicker and easier for them to distribute things, but it's also easier because if a mod author puts something up on mod.io, it's much easier for us to determine if it's a duplicate or if there's some other issue with it. That being said, clearly, some people do not want to have to sign up or agree to terms for a secondary service. So we're going to review the changes that we've made and talk about them and determine a different course of action. Right now, you have what you have. We can't make any instantaneous changes to what you have. As far as a number of issues I saw people bringing up, I saw a number of people say my server is broken, my server is down, you blew up all my stuff. I saw a few mentions of game files specifically. Here is a link. I've linked it a few times already. Here's a link to our support portal. If you'd like to go report it there, that would be fantastic. If you do not wish to go report it there, and you would like to report it, let's say, for instance, you're a server admin, you can also email me, or us, I should say, directly so that we can get in touch with you quickly and try and determine exactly what's happening with you. Just a heads up, some things that are going to be helpful for us if you have a server issue. We're going to ask for your server's configuration file. We're going to ask for your server's most recent log file, especially the one where you experienced the issue. And we're going to ask for a copy of your saved world so that we can try and load your world and determine what the issue is. So if you want to go ahead and prepare all those things before submitting a ticket to us, it's going to make it much easier, much faster for us to deal with the stuff you're dealing with. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is not something that we're going to look over, guys. It's clearly an issue here, and I can understand people's feelings on it. It's something that we need to address immediately. Okay, so apologies that this update that may have affected your feelings towards this update, but rest assured we will really try and look at that as quick as possible, because it clearly is a huge thing for you guys. So right. Yeah, it's something that we can look at ASAP. I'm sure we're having a meeting as soon as possible and we'll be looking at this. Okay.
Yep. It's absolutely something we're going to take a look at. Void implement a feature for planet modding which allows to remove or manipulate the voxels underground. Strictly speaking, if you're sneaky with your camera, you can already do that. You can just start using a voxel tool underneath the surface of the planet and kind of carve caves out. Anyway. Because I'm sorry, I'm not entirely following that one, but like I was saying earlier, we'd like to address this. We will address this, but it's nothing that can happen instantaneously. We most importantly want you to understand the reason we put it there, and the reason we put it there is so that mod authors can very easily distribute to multiple platforms at the same time. That's it. Can't load my personal blueprints for PC. I don't want to share any info in third person. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the main point tonight. Yeah. I think is about this. Okay.
Yeah. Can we expect a wipe on official servers? No, you don't have anything to worry about as far as wipes on official servers. The PC servers were restarted and updated and will remain PC only. The Xbox servers were restarted and updated and will be PC and Xbox capable. Thank you, Gwen. Will we be able to have more than 3 types of planets on Xbox? I don't believe so. I don't think that's going to change. Specifically, you could have 50 or 15 planets that were all the exact same planets. Say, for instance, 10 moons that are all the same moon, or 10 Mars that are all the same Mars, but you can only have 3 different, uniquely different planets.
It'd be interesting to see definitely how many players, how server population changed with this, you know, because I know that
Absolutely.
Often when running events, there's always been, because I'm always playing the PC version, and I often have Xbox who are watching who really want to get involved and haven't been able to this point. So I'm really curious to see how server populations change with this update.
So as far as, and I can grab you a link to this, as far as how mods are going to work on Xbox, essentially the easiest way for me to explain this, especially if you happen to be a mod author, is that if you have, let's say, a thruster and you just change one value in the SBC for that thruster, it's the data file for the thruster, to make the thruster more powerful, or not work in atmosphere or something like that, that modified thruster will work on an Xbox. However, if you have some high-level background script running for that same thruster, that will not work on an Xbox. Well, if the script is running on the client. If the script is running on the server, no problem. Oh yeah, let me grab you that link real quick. We'll do a blog link and more fun stuff. All the fun stuff. Let's do a blog link first.
Yeah, and the full list, because I went over, actually it reminds me, if there are some other fixes to cover, because I know I mentioned the piston head. Let me just I need to get this, have a look here.
Right, and as I was saying earlier, if you could please report issues that you've encountered, if you've run into any problems at all, if you have an issue with your server now, anything like that, please report it to us. Right now, we're collecting the automated crash logs that are generated, and we're collecting bug reports. We're going to keep collecting those for the next few days and try and assess issues and push hot fixes as quickly as we can, but you have to report us so that we can deal with it as quickly as possible. Mr. Decimus, players do still have identities, but their identities are obscured so that we can better adhere to privacy. There is no tree adding mod. I choose to disagree. There is a mod that gives you
tree blocks,
bushes,
for sure.
Yeah, bushes, trees, shrubs, and something else. Flowers. Gives you flowers.
So look here.
To freezing, someone connects or disconnects. Okay, Rue UK, that's a great example. If you could please drop a bug report on that, if you'd also like to for any of our official servers, if you join our Discord, which I'll drop a link to, we have server administrators that are online right now. They'll be more than happy to help you. They're community volunteers, and they will hop in and try and determine what's bothering you and see if they can't fix it for you. Oop. We don't have any plans to change server capacity at this time. When you're releasing like this, essentially we can have maybe 40 or 50 people aggressively test something. But right now, you know, you put it out and you have, you know, tens of thousands of people aggressively test something. So if we were going to make a change like player capacity, we would wait until it was out in the community and got beat up for a little while so we could make sure nothing was broken.
talking about bugs, and we have actually some of the just highlight some of the things that was fixed in this update. There was there was an issue with hydrogen tanks causing a high network load. It was actually making survival servers problematic, very problematic. It was one of the reasons I was waiting to start a new season actually of survival was because of this. But that's been fixed, which is great. And there was also optimized decals. Wheel imprints have a separate pool of decals, and so bullet holes, if you're shooting, don't deplete from the imprints, for example. So if you have like you're driving a car and you start shooting, the tracks won't disappear if there's lots of bullet decals. So there's separate pools there. There's the option to mute specific players in the text chat as well as across platforms. So you may have seen it in the menu here. There's little icons. So if I click on this, if there's someone being particularly annoying or inappropriate, then you can mute them there as well. So that's also a new feature. Fun music. I know, Kevis, that is needed. So you can do it in text chat as well, but I'm now wondering what the command is for that. You don't happen to know, do you, Aaron? So I knew about this, but for muting players in the text chat.
Oh, I do not. I have not had to do that yet.
It's probably a command, but actually now I think of it, I don't know. I'm not sure what that one is.
A greenhouse DLC. If you go to our support portal and drop that as a suggestion, I love green things, so my house is packed with plants. I would love a greenhouse DLC. That sounds fantastic. Is the update live now? The update has been live since earlier today. I was going to say this morning, but it's not morning for a bunch of people that play Space Engineers. So yes, earlier today, it went live 5 hours ago.
Yeah, this is the user-specific mute. You can see I'm selecting the players that I want to mute. I don't have to mute all of them. And of course, if you want to mute all players, you can do it there, or in the audio options, you can just disable voice chat if you want to have or the volume of it. So if you don't want to have, so the choice is there for voice chat now, if that was ever a problem. I know, for example, there's a couple of individuals who are always often problematic with voice chat, and I know they will be getting insta-mute. like to play weird sounds and fun music.
I totally understand, and please know that we are reading your comments and we're listening.
There's a lot.
I don't want to sign for anything other than Steam to play the game. Fix ASAP this mod.io nonsense. We hear you, we're listening, and we're going to review all of this. Okay.
Yeah, and I appreciate, and some people have mentioned that they don't feel comfortable playing the game with this, and I'm sorry if that is the case. And we will be looking at this ASAP. It is clearly the biggest issue right now, and we're not gonna leave this. We don't want to leave this.
That's an interesting question.
Untouched. I don't know how to word this. For as least amount of time as possible. We do. I can't speak.
We promise at least one heated conversation immediately following this live stream.
Something like that. Yeah, that's an easy way to say
exactly.
it. Yeah,
I didn't lose it. Yay, there it is. Sorry. The chat was jumping all around. I'm curious about the Sounds of Space Engineers competition, and we've had this question come up a few times. You get the right to use the music, but do artists retain copyrights of their music? Actually, if you read it, and I pulled this little tidbit out earlier today, if you read the agreement, you'll see that it says you don't transfer ownership of it. You just give us the right, wherever it's permitted by law, to print it, publish it, broadcast it, distribute it, etc., etc. But you're only offering us the right to use the music. You are not giving up your rights to your creation. Mm-hmm. Just so we're all on the same page. You got me on recording saying that. So
no, because that wasn't also. It seems that TOS things have been the hot topics. Well, not hot topics, but. I get it. The last couple of months, I know the Sounds of Space Engineers was also something that some members of the community had concerns about. So hopefully that clears that up. I really am looking forward to reviewing the entries. So we've had so many. I've been overwhelmed because I honestly thought this was going to be a competition that would be not as crazy as, say, like a screenshot competition or a build competition, but it's been as crazy. I think if anything, there's been more entries than a video, like the video competition. So there's a lot of really passionate people out there for sci-fi music and all that stuff. So I'm really looking forward to listening what kind of Space Engineers inspired pieces people have made. I've listened to a couple of them, but there's been so many, I just like, okay, I'll just wait until they're all in and then I'll go through them. So
I may have snuck through and already picked my 3 favorites out of what's available. So if you haven't submitted something yet, submit it so I can listen to it, because it's been super fun.
The end, March 15th is the final date for entry. So we're about halfway through. So you guys have got a month, just over a month still, if you still want to enter that competition.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just see here, because I really want you guys, I know there's some people in chat who are unhappy about this. There's also plenty of people who are happy. I can see plenty of people are really happy about this. YouTube, it's interesting, YouTube and Twitch, I think you can see how I think the kind of, the communities are slightly different there, I think. Like, I think maybe we have more Xbox players in the YouTube chat. So yeah, lots of people I'd say are really seem to be enjoying. Who's actually on an Xbox on a crossplay server right now? I'm kind of curious how many people playing here. So
the engineer forgot how to walk. They can see the headstand in the background there.
Let's see. Yeah, I think most people are happy about the crossplay. Maybe not if it's affected their existing servers, and of course that is a problem. And if we want to get any PC problems fixed ASAP as well, the crossplay should be an enhancement. And there were concerns that it would dumb down the version of the PC version, but that was not the case in terms of feature set and all the rest of it. Well, let's see. Just touching again on the music competition, there's so many good entries. I'd almost want to increase the number of winners we have. Like, I don't know. What has happened to your webcam?
Oh, did it turn green?
Yeah, it turned green.
No, that's been happening all the time. I'm just green now. If you have me green screened, it probably just makes me invisible.
There we go. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I have you green screened.
The voice from beyond. Yep. Okay. I wish I could make a noise like the Predator. That would be great. Anyway.
Let's see.
Cat filter on the webcam that I can't turn off. Multiplayer lobby, no. This is the crossplay is set up specifically for dedicated servers, and that does not extend to multiplayer lobby.
I think also it's worth pointing out that, guys, we're happy when you're happy. I think that's the case. So it's, if there's clearly some unrest in the community, it's hard to. I'm kind of curious. Like, if we were to, I don't know, like a percentage of it, it's hard, to see how people are feeling about it. But, and I know that the team will not be feeling good until you guys are happy. So, I really want to emphasize to not worry about it. We will really be looking at addressing it as soon as we can. Again, I know the situation right this very second is not ideal, and you want to play the game right now, and you may not want to. But of course, we're going to be wanting to we're going to be making sure you guys want to play the game as soon as possible. So we hear you, and I'm sorry that people have been upset by this, and I'm sorry to the server admins as well. But we really will be making sure this is addressed as soon as possible. Okay.
Gwyn, the administrator, so the question was for Steam users, Steam ID isn't private. They can be looked up with public APIs. How do server admins ban users without their ID? You can literally go into the admin interface, either in-game or through the server interface, and click on them and ban them. But the easiest way to do it is just from directly in-game, and it will ban them. I know your question was probably more about the user ID, but it will ban them. Well, I appreciate that. With progress, there are small speed bumps. I'm not going to scale the size of this speed bump, but it was definitely a speed bump. Just glad to see you guys are working on moving forward and not fearful of issues. Issues are a part of life. We're going to do the best we can with this and try and make changes that are reflective of what the community wants. So, Gwyn, I do not have an answer to that question, but I can get you an answer to that question. Does that work if they're offline at the time, though? I can get you an answer to that.
And some people are asking if there's more updates, because I mean, obviously this is something that's been worked on, but we do have bigger updates in the pipeline. This year there's going to be some nice stuff coming, and I want to leak it. I want to leak it, but I can't. Too many eyes.
We can say something super nice and friendly.
What do you mean?
Well, just to thank everyone for coming today, but not give away any information. You're the master of leaks, so.
No, my leaking days are over.
I don't know. You're done. That's it.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
Captain Jack said, "Leak it. Give me something, please." Captain
We should have asked Marek. We should have asked Marek.
You should.
We should have asked Marek, and he was here.
Too bad. A missed opportunity. Outfrost ladders. Yeah.
All the data miners are running now.
I know. Hint for next update. We have such amazing stuff coming. Oh man, I can't give you any specifics, but I can tell you that 2021 is gonna be bonkers, and you can quote me on that. Bonkers. It's gonna be so nuts. Oh, I'm so excited about it. Anyway.
Let's have a look. Let's see here. Okay, so Gwyn, just it's a point here about mods. Mods should be using the identity ID. That's unique game value for players, regardless of platform. So, right. Regarding this player ID thing, I think there's other ways to find the unique ID here, and Gwyn is a modder themselves, so I'm sure they know about this. So there's
pretty prolific modder. And a career software developer, so plenty of knowledge in this realm. Is there new content coming? As in, not just blocks and skins, but stuff to do. I would be willing to answer that with a yes. Considering, I mean, would you answer that with a yes? Would you think that's a yes? Say no, just for the sake of confusion.
Wait, sorry, I was drifting off. I was just trying to get the YouTube chat bigger here. The YouTube chat is always really hard to make it, to resize it. I always find. Let's see if that's better. Okay, now I'll put that in the corner. Oh, that's better. I'm not like squinting to read the YouTube chat now. Let's see.
Do it. Oh man. Greenhouse DLC. Oh yeah, cool. Thank you for creating a topic for that. I appreciate it.
Wait, what? Yeah.
They created a topic for the Greenhouse DLC because I like the idea of plants and space engineers. I think that's a neat idea.
So trying to think if there's any other topics we plan to cover tonight, Aaron.
So I had a few things written down. Let me grab my
we'll go through stuff as well, because I think the issues with the TOS stuff and the issues that everyone has with the update right now, the team is, I can assure you that right as we speak right now, the team will be looking at it. And I'm not sure if we can't add anything to that right now, but it is clearly something you guys really want to get changed ASAP. So we'll definitely be looking at it, okay?
Right. I received some feedback about mod.io and how it's organized and stuff like that. And I just wanted to reassure you, we are working with mod.io on better moderation tools, a variety of other things. Right now, if you run into any issues on mod.io, please feel free to reach out to me or a member of my moderation team. We'd be happy to help you with anything you're running into there. And if we can't help you, we know the good folks at mod.io and they can help you. So we are working very closely with them on that. We did our relationship change with Nitrado? Nope, BFFs forever. We even have the little necklace that's 2 pieces. No, please look at the script called, okay. I have the script for Steam, auto ore pickup. Okay, interesting. Easily update both Steam and right. So if you are using, let's say for instance, you've agreed to the terms of mod.io and Steam, and you're a mod author, you'll be able to see in our blog post, which I can put up again, you can actually, it's literally click a button, click another button, select mod.io and Steam, and you can publish to both places at the same time. That includes updating your mods and keeping everything up to date. And let's grab our happy, friendly blog post and throw that bad boy up. And then I will double check and make sure we don't have anything else we need to cover.
Oh, I also should add that I think some people may be thinking that this is the only thing we've been working on. So this has just been part of the team's work, guys. So this hasn't slowed work towards the next update or updates beyond that. We haven't stopped to do Xbox. We have a dedicated team of programmers and testers who work on the Xbox port, and obviously as well they can use I've obviously been working the PC as well for this integration, but for the content updates, they've still got their own teams and they're still been going on ahead the last couple of months. So there's still work going on. Work has never stopped, even though this update has just come out. I just want to make that clear as well, that this hasn't been like the next update. There is still the next update in the works. So I'm just trying to pull some more kind of summary points here from the chat. Because I see, I'm trying to read the chat the best I can here, but there's trying to summarize the questions into one answer or something.
I always get caught because I have to go way back up where I stopped reading and then slowly try and read my way back to where we currently are. And people have very quick hands. So, all right. I have Xbox Edition and Steam Edition. I know a surprising number of people that have both, actually. Right. So, and there's still a number of people, we covered this earlier, but we'll go ahead and do this again. All of the official Keen PC servers are going to stay PC only. All of the official Keen Xbox servers, you'll see they have the EOS designation.
I should show that actually. Karen, I haven't shown that on stream yet. Let me get the game back up.
Okay, cool. The Xbox
up.
servers are going to be cross-platform from now on. So there you go. But yeah, and back to that whole please don't downgrade PC version. PC version didn't get any. That's not how it works. I don't know how else to say it. It's not how it works.
So here we go. Actually, I'm just showing on stream here to demonstrate how you guys. It's helped to see here how it's simple as just switching Steam servers. You can see the Steam icon. That will only contain PC players, or you can select the EOS button, and that you see the little EOS icon, and this will be available for Xbox and PC players. So you can see as well how we have both the official servers. We have the home system EOS. These are the official Keen ones, and I don't know why I haven't got them appearing yet, but they'll also be there as well on the Steam. So I just want to show you how you can switch between that as well, so you can choose that.
Is there a way to have an Xbox only server with a password? That's I believe that's current. Yes, with a password. You would just only have people with an Xbox join, and then if you have the one random friend with a PC, you could have them join as well. Any optimizations for Series X and S? Yes, strictly speaking, we already released a number of upgrades and optimizations for the X and S last time we put out a big update. And the X is, I don't know what to tell you. It's a supercomputer. It's the Rolls Royce of space engineers. Like, it's everything runs super well on super high settings all the time. It's amazing. So add water. Ice does not count. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure ice is water. Could really use more PCU limits. Even on solo, I keep breaking my game due to PCU limits. I don't ask for much, but I want to know about the clear visor. That was just done for promotional art, although that is kind of a cool idea. I never get to say this. Can I see some 07s in chat for people who think a clear visor would be cool? Because that would be pretty excellent. Can we? No, you can't do that. Interesting.
Wow, it's a lot of 07s.
Yeah, buddy. Neat.
That's a lot of 07s.
They like this.
Let's see. There won't be a server wipe on official servers. You said that right? So no server wipe on the official servers. That's crazy. I should get up here now. Now the game's been. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in game I need to show. I don't think so. I just wanted to show how you can choose between this. And I showed the piston head, so I think I've shown all the in-game stuff there. Thanks, of course, to the guys who joined me on the playtest there, with the showing off the PC and Xbox. It ran pretty well there. It was awesome. I love the vehicles, Smocky's vehicles.
Gwendolmere, all of that information is accurate. You are entirely correct. Yes. I saw someone mention food and water. I saw a whole host of suggestions for different features for space engineers. If you have suggestions for features, if you would like to give us your feedback, or if you've run into a bug with today's release, please drop by our support portal and tell us about what you're experiencing so that we can address it as quickly as possible. If you are having trouble accessing the support portal, you can also reach us here. Oh, there we go. Bonk. And we'd be happy to talk to you about whatever trouble you're running into. Awesome. I have answered pretty much everything I can.
Okay.
That's both of my sheets and my doc, so I'm good.
Just one point is about long-term issues that we do know about still. And it's always the case that if it's a long-term issue, often it's because it's one of the most challenging to fix, or trying to find a way to fix it that doesn't fix other things. You know, it's that classic fix it and open up 99 more bugs or whatever. So
Right.
definitely the need for continuous optimization is definitely recognized, Swifty. You know, and it's always, obviously the game can still be optimized more. It's an ongoing battle. But I always realize that if you go back, like, you know, 4 years ago, or then 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, the game has allowed more and more and more happening in the world every year. In terms of, you know, I've recently done some kind of crazy racing or big survival, or who know, I can't think of the stuff I've done, but huge maps. And, you know, I just thinking back to, I was looking back at some old streams, and it was like 20, whenever that multiplayer overhaul competition, we had like 10 players, and we were like, yeah, we have 10 players, it's running well, you know. And of course there were people playing with, like, via plugins, before Torch, it was SESE, of course. And there was people playing with big servers long ago. Sometimes it required some kind of, what's the word, like...
Magic.
Well, no, it was more there may have been some kind of compromise, not always. But in general, the game has... I say this as a player, and you might, and of course you think I'm biased, and I probably am, but I also have played nearly 6,000 hours of the game, and I definitely think the game you're able to do so much more now than you are even a year ago. But of course, it can always, you know, it's that case, you optimize it, people build and play up to the max, so then it's like, okay, the server's bottlenecking, okay, we need more performance, so the server gets another increase of more optimizations, and then everyone builds up to that max, and so on. So I definitely recognize that. So yeah, and you guys can, if you guys want to, if you're curious about performance in SC, you can roll back to many years ago versions of Space Engineers via the Steam betas tab. We have, I don't know, back to 1.7, but I think even back to the DX9 version or whatever. So you can go back a long time ago. And even recently, I did this showcase with Rotal's Star Trek ship. You may know Commander Rotal. And when I first got into Space Engineers, just one of these Star Trek Galaxy class would bring the game to its knees. You know, it would be like 5 FPS, and that was like without it moving. And I was in this showcase world with these Star Trek ships, and I had like 20 huge Star Trek ships. You know, so I think I also too, when I'm playing, we do hit bottlenecks, and we often play with the limits disabled because we like to just go crazy, and it does hit those limits. So it is always needed to have more optimization, but it's an ongoing battle, and it gets in some ways harder and harder as you cut things down. You cut the parts of the code which are creating more lag and all the rest of it. It gets harder to find the places to make those cuts. You know, I'm not a particularly technical person, but this is from my understanding. Breaking limits sets new limits, right? So
yeah, there's always room for improvement, and you know, you untangle one knot, you make another one. So, and
I just don't want people to get the idea that we've given up on optimization. That's the main thing, because I think some people would rather have more optimization than any content. And I really want to stress that we've never given up on optimization. Sometimes the focus shifts, of course, but optimization is continuously going on in the background. And I think people who often return to Space Engineers, they play it for a year, then they come back a year later, often they notice the performance is much greater than, even because I don't notice it even because I play it so often. Sometimes I have to go back to an older version, or I look at awesome video and seeing how like laggy it was. So but I really want to show you guys that optimization is always something that we're looking at. You know, the bigger the world, the more dramatic it's the best.
Killer STK35 Canada, what's the best SE joke you've ever heard? The best SE joke I ever heard was so painful to hear that I still remember everything about that whole day. I was eating lunch in a break room with a bunch of my coworkers and was playing one of Zockley's update videos. And at the end of the video, he said, "Don't let cyber hounds get you cyber down." And everyone in the room stopped eating to look at me like, what was that? It was embarrassing. It was brutal. It was wonderful.
I was going to do it, but I don't have the right setting, so it's not going to work. But I normally have a blue filter ready to go, but I don't have it ready, so it's broken. Yes, that was a Goldie, as I say, a Goldie but an oldie. Or if your rotors are banging, better hope your ship ain't clanging.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, there was some pretty bad ones there. If you want, there's a full compilation out there somewhere, but
which is fantastic and worth it. Just
yeah. Let's see. Even I was hiding. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, guys. It got to the point in the development cycle which, you know, it wasn't viable, but I do miss the ages of weekly updates. I think a lot of people at King do, because it was great for the team in many ways. It's honestly one of the reasons why I got into Space Engineers with so much passion, and ultimately why I even ended up at the company, arguably, is because it was so exciting and so you know, it was just crazy. It was crazy times. But it definitely got to the point where I think it was always where, you know, we were updating it, but often there was just long-term issues that need to be addressed, and when you keep adding, there's not that, you don't have that kind of consolidation, you know. So I think it was that, you know, different time, but I still think about it often. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Sarcasmus says it. The weekly videos were nice, but stability took a hit. And it was like the case that every week we would be breaking mods. Not every week, but every other week we were breaking mods. And I just remember getting messages from modders. Right. Like they had to update a new thing. They had to change some new thing in the SBC files, everything. So actually, it's crazy to think now we have an update every 2, 3, 4 months or something. And they may or may not break mods and servers. But it was crazy to think that we used to the point that server admins and modders were updating every week, and we tried not to, but it was really hard to develop the game and improve the underlying code and all that rest of it without affecting other stuff. So,
I was a modder.
I don't know. I'm just getting nostalgic. No. Oh yeah, of course. Kianata was a modder as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember wondering what was going to be broken and how I would need to fix it. But the fact is that, like, when you're building a system like that and you're like, hey, here's literally a gyroscope, we kind of had to change some things about the game to shoehorn this thing in, you know, of course stuff broke. So yeah, it was a good time though. It was an excellent time. Okay.
All right then. So,
I'm looking at a screen right now that's got a bunch of stuff talking about people's servers and the issues they're having. I just want to say I really appreciate you sharing that stuff with me so that I can deal with it.
We will be, I say after this, I'm kind of curious to see, questions to see here. Okay, great. But thank you guys. Thank you for being honest and coming and telling us the problems, because it doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. We need to hear exactly what the community is feeling, what they're thinking. So thank you. There were some very passionate comments in the chat, but we need to hear it. We need to hear it. And you guys did that. So thank you for that. And thank you for taking the time out of your days to be here and tell us that. You know, I really do appreciate that. So thank you guys. And I think we'll wrap this up for now. And we will get something updated or posted as soon as we have it for you. I'm sure we'll be into some discussions ASAP, okay?
Yeah, we'll definitely have some announcements going out, and we'll keep everyone aware of what's going on. If you're following us on social media, or if you're just in our Discord or in the Steam forums, we'll try and post in as many places as possible and let you know what we're doing.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. And don't forget, if you still want to get into the Space Engineers music competition, we still have 1 month to go on that. That's the main announcements there, I think. And check out the new Space Engineers website. We'll launch a new website today, updated design. So please do. And if you have any feedback on the website, I'm not sure where's any website feedback places, Aaron?
If you would like to give me feedback specifically on the website, I'd like that to come this way. Let me grab that link. Boop. And we'll use that. Yeah, if you have feedback on the website, maybe I don't know how to spell, or I've created some form of other like error. Whatever's wrong, you can email us and say you need to spell more better, and we'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm muted. I muted myself. I don't know how long I was muted for. I'm muted. Okay. I forgot what I even... Okay. I don't know how long I've been muted for. Damn. I pressed it because I was like going to cough or something, and then... I was trying to be useful and I forgot. All right. I just said... okay, I'll repeat that. I say... I was saying thank you to you guys. I was saying about the music competition, to definitely get involved in the music competition. There's a month left. And I was just saying that I'll probably be doing a stream later tonight. So if you have any more questions, I will try to answer them. Although I don't have much more information to share right now about it. But we'll probably be doing some community events and stuff, and maybe doing some PvP later. So feel free to stop by, and I will try to address them more a little later after I've got some food. So there's that. And yeah, thank you to all our guests. Thank you to Marek, thank you to Chenda, and thank you to Kianata for joining us here today on the KCN. I was leaking, yeah, that was leaking.
Yeah, that whole time. You didn't hear any of it? That's crazy.
All right, man, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys very soon for the next update. Alrighty. Bye-bye. I don't know if I should... I feel like I haven't got energy for a pun. No, I'll skip the pun today. I'll just be... If in doubt, jump drive out.